Hello there, all Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria, and we have your August of 2025 money and career reading here for you. So just a little reminder, throughout August, we are a little bit in retrograde season. Our outer planets have fairly much settled down into their new signs for the moment. But have now decided to turn retrograde. So we've got Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Mercury retrograde until August 11th, that one. Granted, we'll still be in shadow period for the week or two after. Of course, Pluto has been retrograde for a while now in the sign of Aquarius. So Saturn and Neptune are both hanging out together in the sign of Aries. So your sign, your time to shine, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to think about, contemplate on whatever changes that you want to make with your money, with your career path, if there's anything. Some of you may be getting ready to abandon a career path here, or perhaps revive an old dream, Neptune, right? And how do we get there? Hard work, Saturn, right? How do we ensure that we're going to step off on the right foot? Saturn, we make a little bit of a plan. So before we jump forward and take action, you may find that you are taking a step back. And sometimes we do need to take a step back before we do take that giant leap forward. But with Mercury retrograde, okay, our most notorious retrograding planet, just make sure that you are double and triple checking anything before you sign any documents or even start on any ventures. This month may just be really good for cleaning up house, for getting things organized, and getting ready to make some sort of changes or some decisions, right? Retrograde does slow things down a little bit, or at least it feels like it does. So you may feel like things aren't happening as fast as you are wanting them to, or that people are just kind of slowing down a little bit. I mean, it is summer as well. And, depending on what career you're in, what you're doing with your money, with your finances, this can be the month where you kind of do take it easy. Maybe you go on vacation a little bit. Sometimes we dip into our nest egg to go on a vacation. Just remember, with that Mercury retrograde, okay, if you are making any travel plans, make sure you double and triple check everything and keep backups of all of your documents. To keep a picture on your phone, however, since Mercury retrograde affects technology often, do the good old-fashioned photocopy and keep a couple copies around. Keep one in your wallet or your purse. Keep one in your luggage or something. Keep one in your car, something like that, right? Just to make sure that if you do have to, if something does go a little bit sideways, that you've got copies of your official documents. It can certainly get you out of a pickle, if necessary. So just a little bit of a word to the wise, all right? But we do have some fiery Leo energy going on. So this is about taking the lead, leadership. This can certainly be about finding new sources of inspiration or tapping into your creative side to make a little bit of extra money. First card out for you, we've got all tied up, and this baby is in the reverse. So this is actually really good. Even though we've got retrogrades going on, we can still feel a little bit of release. We can feel less restricted and less tied up in some way. And with Saturn that is actually retrograde in your sign, this can represent some breakthroughs for you, because your hard work that you've been doing, now you take a step back and you're like, whoa, okay, yeah, this is actually really starting to work out for me. Or some of you could be feeling a little rebellious maybe and thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe I can break some rules, right? Mix things up a little bit. And sometimes we do that to get out of stagnation. So all tied up in the reverse shows a release of restrictions, but more importantly, a release from something that has been controlling you, some fears, worries, doubts, lack of confidence, whatever it has to be, whatever it has been, right? You are releasing yourself, and maybe you're getting ready here to release yourself from a company, a job, a career, a position, or financial issues that have been making you feel like you've been backed into a corner. So this can be a really big breakthrough for you. We have appreciation card here as well. So this is actually really beautiful. This can be, number one, a reminder from the universe to you to give thanks and be grateful for everything that you already have. To show yourself a little bit of appreciation, right? Sometimes, we can't always wait for other people to do things for us. We sometimes need to take the bull by the horns and do things on our own. So show yourself a little bit of appreciation. Give yourself a pat on the back. Buy yourself something nice. Do something nice for yourself. And it can certainly be, a very nice gesture, right? We don't, like I said, we don't have to wait for other people to do those things. However, having said that, some of you could have somebody that does show their appreciation for you in some way. If you've been helping a coworker at work, right? Maybe they, maybe they can't necessarily repay you the favor because they might not have the experience or the knowledge that you do, but maybe they do something nice for you. If you've got kids, they might offer to repay you by babysitting your children. They might help you out with a report. They could bake you cookies, something, or they could just give you a heartfelt thank you, right? Just a little show of gratitude, right? So whether you're showing yourself or someone else appreciation, or whether that is being shown back towards you, it's a really good card, and it can potentially bring you some sort of increase or some sort of gifts. We've got the Two of Wands at the back of the deck here for you. So some of you might feel like you're at a crossroads right now. You might feel like you've got a couple of different avenues that you can take, and you're trying to make a decision. So with the Two of Wands, it's one of those energies where, where your path forward is clear. And we see that already with the All Tied Up coming in the reverse there. It's like a release of restriction. And so, this can be really good for seeing your path forward clearly, seeing the possibilities, and even embracing a sense of adventure. So some of you, again, are maybe going to go on vacation. Here's your Two of Wands, thinking, okay, where are we going to go? What we're going to do? Can we afford to do everything that we want? But it's one of where you might be keeping your options open, okay, or having an all-important conversation about, do I go left? Do I go right? Do we choose option A, option B? Is there something hidden that we're not quite seeing yet that might actually really benefit everybody? But the Two of Wands is about making a decision about which direction or which path that you're going to go in. So it can certainly be about your money. It can certainly be about your career goals, but it is one of contemplation, right? We're thinking about it. We're making a decision. We're feeling good. We're feeling fine, right? We're feeling like maybe the world is your oyster at the moment, and you're opening those doors, you're opening those portals, but it's not one of rushing into anything, right? And that's that retrograde energy. We've got the World card. So it can certainly represent some travel. We've got the Five of Swords, all right, some conflict or some turmoil there. And we've got the King of Wands. We're getting it all sorted out. So with the World card here, you could certainly be at the end of a certain chapter. You could have something that has come to the end of a term. So especially in regards to your money, you might have things that, if you've got anything in a term, an investment or something, now you might be making decisions. Do I let it roll? Or do I take it out and put my money somewhere else? So some of you do have some deadlines to meet there. Maybe you are a little bit conflicted with that. How much risk do I want to take? Am I happy where my money is right now? Is this working for me? Is it safe where it is? I want to make some interest, and I want my investments to grow, but is it safe there, right? And so that Five of Swords can really be a little bit of a conundrum. With the King of Wands there, you could certainly be seeking out somebody who maybe might have some good advice, or you could just be figuring it out and then, being very happy and very confident with your decision there, right? Kings are masterful. The kings are confident, especially the King of Wands. And it's like, I know what I want. I'm happy with my choices, and whatever I've chosen will succeed. With the World card there, some of you are also maybe feeling like you've hit a proverbial glass ceiling. So again, with your career path, is there room for growth? Is there more room for advancement, for financial improvement there, right? Sometimes there's nothing wrong with the company that we work for, the people that we work with, but sometimes we're like, I really need to make more money, or I'm really looking for, some higher status or something there. And if you feel like you've hit that glass ceiling, maybe it's a small company, but you've got big dreams. Maybe it's a larger company, but there's so much red tape that you're never going to get ahead. So with the World card, it's like you've successfully done everything that you can do in your current cycle, in your current situation. But now you are at this, this point where it can be a pivotal turning point, right? But now you're like, okay, here I am. Is there still room to grow? Is there still something within this company or within this career path even that I can still pursue or follow? Or do I need to take a leap of faith, leave it behind, and try something different? So this can be where that Five of Swords, that inner conflict and turmoil can be. But again, we have the King of Wands, and this can be somebody who waltzes into your life and maybe has some sort of opportunity or insight for you. This can be someone who is very successful, and maybe someone that you aspire to be like, right? It's like, I want to be like this guy, right? This person followed their goals, followed their dreams, and now look at them. They're on top of the world. Sometimes we can gain motivation or inspiration from these kinds of people. So that could be very interesting there. You could also have a little bit of a challenge here, the Five of Swords. We can't forget that, right? That can be miscommunication, misunderstandings. It can be conflict. It can also be one of winning and getting what you want, but at the expense of something else, right? So sometimes to get what we want, we have to leave something behind. Sometimes for us to get what we want, someone else has to hear and know. Right? So it is one that can certainly be one of victory, but, there is another side to it, right, that we need to remember, especially if you are going for a promotion, right? Just be aware of other people around you, because for you to get that yes, they're going to have the no. And if you work in the same company with these people, right, and I've been in that position myself, where I have, thrown my hat in the ring for a promotion and someone else has as well. And, we worked well together and got along together. And so when I got the promotion and she didn't, I was very aware of her feelings and, I'm not a gloaty person anyway, but I was just, I didn't really kind of bring it up or talk about it or things like that, right? Other than, I'm sorry kind of thing, right? But, hey, there's only one job and one person can get it. So sometimes we just need to kind of be aware of that a little bit, because this can show you potentially getting a promotion or getting a higher level of responsibility, that kind of thing there as well. And you could have a little bit of a challenge with a coworker, but since both of the World and the King of Wands are both in the upright there, you could resolve something, okay, or kind of, smooth something over. But I do see some of you potentially that you want something. There's some sort of desire within you. And with that King of Wands, are you looking to open your own business? Are you ready to be a consultant? Are you ready to retire and live your best life, right? The World card can certainly be one of retirement. And, it is sometimes frightening, right? But ultimately, it can be really fun to retire. Granted, we do have to make sure that we've got a handle on our money before we do that. And it's also fun to be your own boss, whatever that looks like to you. But again, it's always scary, and we always have the little belly full of knots, right? But, trust in the timing. Don't rush into it. Get all your ducks in a row, and it should be really interesting for you. We've got the Three of Wands, so we've got some growth. So whatever it is that you're deciding with the Two of Wands, you're making a decision. We've got the Empress card right in the heart of your reading, and we also have the King of Cups. So very interesting. Because I think for some of you, you could have a couple of different paths, a couple of different directions that you can go. Whether this is deciding where to go on a vacation, the Three of Wands can be a travel card, right? And, you know, maybe you're going on a boat, or maybe you're going on a road trip, right? Whatever it happens to be. You know, you could have some potential delays, but it's for a reason. It probably works out better for you. It could be like a conflict in schedules, or, you know, that kind of thing. But ultimately with that Three of Wands is like, I've made my decision from the Two of Wands, and now I'm ready to take action, and I'm just waiting for the right moment, the right time, that kind of thing. So there could certainly be some sort of offer, opportunity, or trip coming up for you there. But with the Empress right in the heart of your reading, this is really beautiful. Venus right now is in the sign of Gemini, okay? And it'll stay there until August 30th. So Venus in Gemini can certainly be very communicative and very chatty. It can be one where we're discussing our goals and our dreams, where we're talking about things that have to do with our money or our career paths, or about something new that we want to create. This is a fertile, abundant time for you when we do get the Empress, but it's also a very creative time and hopefully very prosperous. And with two kings showing up here for you, this can be an opportunity, or this can be the time when you can really elevate your financial status, elevate your career path, or even start something completely new. And you could also have some helpful people along your way, whether they're people that you know already or whether they're new people. The King of Cups can certainly be about getting creative and following your heart, right? With the King of Wands there, it can be about taking action on following your dreams, and it can certainly be one situation here that's blending in. So you're blending the energies, and you know, kind of, you're open to suggestion, you're kind of a little bit more relaxed about things, but also excited at the same time. But with the Empress, there could certainly be something blossoming in your world as well, right? And so this can be super exciting for you. But we love the Empress, okay? That's that Venus energy, bringing the planet ruled by Venus, right? The planet of love and money, essentially. Okay, also the things that we find beautiful, self-love, self-care. And some of you here with the Empress, you are taking care of yourself. You're maybe focused on yourself here right now. It's like, I've been working really hard. I need a break, right? I'm ready for a change, but I don't know what that looks like. So I'm just going to kind of enjoy myself a little bit where I am right now before I make any sudden bold moves. King of Cups can be a potential career where you can use your creative skills, where you can use, you know, your, it can be like a passion project, right? Or something that you're really passionate about, especially with that King of Wands there as well. But again, it can be helpful people along the way. They're all showing up in the upright for you, whether they're friends or whether they're new people or whether they're existing people there. These are people that can help with your vision or your goal, and people that maybe you've resolved something with, and everything is all wonderful. With the Empress and the King of Cups, though, I will say there might be some of you out there going on honeymoon, or you could have some personal relationships here that are evolving that can certainly influence and impact your financial or career path forward. Because sometimes if we feel stable in one area of our life, like our love life, sometimes we have doors of opportunity that open up in another area, such as a career, because maybe we're not as much driven by money now, we're driven by happiness, right? I want to be happy while I work. I want money, yes, but I also want to enjoy myself, right? I want to do something that I love, and I'm not just going through the motions every single day. So you could have those kind of opportunities opening up for you there as well. We have the Tower. Okay. We have the Ace of Cups. Excellent. And we have the Five of Wands. Okay. If you're willing to compete for what you want, you may just get the surprise of a lifetime and get what you are working towards or what it is you want. Yes, we do have a Five of Wands here, and the Five of Wands can represent conflict and drama, but it can also represent some competition. And we all know that, yes, sometimes things just land in your lap, seemingly out of the blue. But a lot of times we do need to put in some time and effort, and we do need to be willing to compete for what it is that we're looking for. What gift are you wanting the universe to hand you, right? What are you manifesting in your life? Because that Ace of Cups right beside that Tower can be something quite unexpected, and something that you have wished for at some point. Aces can certainly be new beginnings. They can be improvements in your life as well. They're a gift from the universe, and they can certainly be a result of manifestation, and it can be something that the Empress brings in there for you, right? Because remember, that Empress can bring you in the new, Ace of Cups, and can also bring you in a time of harvest, right? It's time to reap what you've sown, and you could just do that there, right? And it can be potentially sometimes, especially if you're competing with somebody else in your workplace for that promotion, right? It can bring maybe, a little bit of potential conflict. You do have two conflict cards coming out here, okay? But the Empress card and the Tower and the World card there, okay, they all trump that. They all overrule that energy, both in a good way and a slightly interesting way with the Tower. But let's address the Tower though, okay? Because, it's one of those cards where people don't necessarily love to see it in their reading. But let me tell you, the Tower comes in here when you're feeling trapped, stagnant, and stuck. The Tower is here to help you release anything that's been holding you back. And remember, we've got the all tied up card that is now releasing you, and it's in the reverse. So sudden unexpected changes, sudden unexpected pieces of information. The Tower comes in to get us out of our comfort zone and to help us let go of things that are holding us back or standing in our way. It can be our thoughts, it can be our habits, it can be, something, real, right? It could be something like, in our workplace, if we're feeling stagnant and stuck and we've got ornery people and people are fighting, right? You got two fighting cards coming out here. There could be some sort of sudden change or even a breakdown somewhere there, right? Company could all of a sudden close, your boss could all of a sudden quit, someone that you've been not seeing eye to eye to can all of a sudden put in their resignation, and you're like, whoo, this is awesome. So sometimes things resolve themselves. But do be aware of short-tempered people. Okay, as we go through August, part of that is retrograde, and especially there with Mercury. And I will say Mercury is retrograde in Leo, so another fire sign. This can be where people's passion is ignited and things like that. But yes, it's fiery energy. So you should be able to navigate it a little bit easier than other people. But when we have fiery energy, we have unpredictability. And we can certainly have sudden unexpected things. So the Tower can be here as a wake-up call for you. It can be here as unexpected changes around your workplace. It can be a little bit of a heads up for some of you here, okay? If wherever you have invested your money, keep a close eye on it, all right? Because, because we have Uranus that has just on July 7th moved out of Taurus, which rules your second house of money, right, has just moved into Gemini. Okay, it'll be there for the next few months. And the thing is with this energy, this can be great for writing down your goals. It can be great for communication, but it can be sudden, unexpected revelations. And so these things, it might be something internally within you, but it could also be something externally that you never quite expected. And yes, it can potentially affect your money and where you have it stored. So just keep an eye on your, on your money. Just because, again, there could be some bumps in the road coming in there. There could be something that you didn't bank on. coming in there as well. And, you know, so if you are contemplating moving your money into somewhere a little bit safer, even if it's just temporary, you might want to just make sure you get your ducks in a row to do that. Okay. So certainly something unexpected, but again, right beside that Ace of Cups can be really something wonderful, because don't forget that Tower card comes in to get rid of the old in order to make room for the new. And that new can be really exciting. We have no more complaining. This is our angels of abundance. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. Take back your God, source, universe-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. And it's safe for you to receive. The more you allow yourself to receive, the more resources you have available to share with others. Open your arms to receive and be a conduit for good coming to you and through you as it blesses the world. All right. Yes. Get ready to receive. Okay. There could be something really fun, really exciting, or really prosperous that you could be opening the doors to now. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I hope you have the most fantastic month ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye.